There is one other thing that I did want to mention in regard to type and blending, and so I'll demonstrate that next. We did talk about how when you just do a simple click, that oftentimes that's a good way to get type so that you can really manipulate it very easily for stretching and for rotating and that sort of thing. Okay, and I do recommend it. I'm just going to take this and select it and copy it and show you another good way to use type on a path. Okay, here's an ellipse tool. Very often we see type where we want to put type around the top of a circle and then underneath for the bottom of the circle. So I'm just going to start with a circle. Remember, shift key down. Then go to, instead of clicking, choose the third option here, type on a path. Now wherever you click will turn this circle into a type path. And I'll just paste that, I'll copy that bit of type that I had there already in my clipboard. Okay, now this next part is a little tricky to explain, but once you've put type around this curve, you'll select it with the selection tool. You'll see these three handles here, and to explain it, I'm going to zoom in really close. The first handle is the beginning of the path. See how it's right next to the type? The one right there next to it is actually the end of the path. So think of the path going all the way around and then ending there. Okay, this handle is the center of the middle of the path. So half of the distance around would logically be right here. Okay, so here's a way to maneuver type on a circle. Okay, first of all, I want to see if I can make it the size that I need. Okay, if this seems too big, and I don't know, it's not too big. Maybe I don't exactly know what I'm getting ready to type. Illustrator, I don't know, Illustrator vector something or other. Okay, so you can use the same type tool that you've had before. If you double click, triple click, it'll select the whole type. Now you can change the size like we think of sort of a regular way to resize it up here. Okay. If you go back to the selection tool, you'll see those three handles again. If you grab it right here, you'll see that I'm moving this guide so that it's at the end of the type. If I go too far, it'll eliminate the type, but if I stop it right there, it'll include all the type. My center handle is now at the middle of the word instead of at the middle of the path. Okay, and that makes centering real easy this way. Okay. Now, if you want to make type go around the bottom of the circle, it really requires another circle. So I'm going to move this one over here, then I'm going to copy this one over here using the Option key here. Okay, so now I've got type that's on the top of the circle, and then I've got one that's a copy of that. Okay, now to put type to the bottom of the circle, seems kind of weird, but this is how you do it. You grab this center handle and you simply move it from outside of the circle to inside of the circle. And then if you're very careful, you can kind of move it around and get it to line up so that it's on the bottom of the circle. Now, you may notice that part of the type is gone. That's because there's not enough space between the beginning and the end of this type to accommodate all the letters. So I'm just going to move the end here. Hold on. All right, knock at my door. Okay, so as I was saying, what I've done here is I've put a word across the top, then I've put it along the bottom. Now it may crowd it because there's just less space here, but you can always adjust that by moving that, and you can recenter it by moving this. And then if you line the two circles up, what you'll notice is that it doesn't really quite work because this is on the outside of the circle and this is on the inside of the circle. So here's what you do instead. Select that, and under the character panel is something called baseline shift. Now, if you give that baseline shift a negative number, and you can pick from the drop down, you can see it kind of moving in the right direction there. Then I'll increase or decrease the number and give it a bigger negative number, and you can actually see the type moving to the outside of the circle. Well, this is, I know, weird, but it's the way it works. It also changes the letter spacing, so you may find that you want to go back in there with the type tool and select that. Also in the character panel is the tracking. And if you give that a negative number, it'll tighten that back up till it looks better. And again, you can just keep tightening it up until it looks good. Okay. Go back to the selection tool and a couple of things. Move this down so it's again at the end of the word. Move this so that it's centered. And then take those two, use your align panel. You can center them both vertically and horizontally, and it does type that looks like that. Now, if you do that, you realize, yeah, but I wish this didn't just say Illustrator, Illustrator, and it's misspelled in both cases, looks like. Okay, gotta be a good speller in this business. Okay, and I'll add a, there we go. Okay, and it pushes it off the edge there, so you gotta reset for that and recenter. There you go. Okay, and you can recenter. You can decide that you want, if you want to change the wording, do it on whichever circle it's on. Vector software. And if you type past the edge of the deal, you just got to move that down. And that's supposed to say software. Okay. And make sure that the circle accommodates the word. Remove that off so you can see a little better. Okay, so now the two, if I line them up, it might look a little better. At least it's not, doesn't say the same thing in both cases. That looks pretty good. And it really is just a back and forth that way, where you change the spacing, change the end of the line, change the end of the line. Then by using the same circle, you can get a neat little, arrangement of type this way. Now, where does the blends come in? You can do some really great stuff with this. I'm going to outline both. Bits of type. So I'll go to type and create outlines. Remember what this is? It takes it so that it's no longer type. It's actually pieces of art. So I've just changed those to as if they were drawn with a pen tool. Okay. Now I'm going to take that and I'm going to change this fill to white. Then I'm going to copy. Let's say, yeah. Let me just start with that. This is white. In outline view, there's still no problem. You can see it just fine. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to distort it just a little bit. I'm going to use the free transform tool for this. I'm going to bring this right. I'm going to grab it in this lower right corner. I'm going to bring this up Then we're going to press the Command key and do that distortion thing like we did with the soap bar and the TV set. Okay, so now it's a little smaller on this end, looks a little bigger on this end. You can try and see if it helps to go the opposite way, and it kind of flattens it out, makes it look like it's offset in space. See that? Isn't that nice? Okay, now remember this is white. I'm going to copy that, I'm going to paste behind Command B. Now it's another copy. You'll see it when I start moving with my arrow keys. I'll move it out this way and then up this way. With that still in outline view, I'm going to change this fill to maybe a red fill. Okay, so I've got some white type and I've got some red type. It's really kind of hard to see until I'm in outline view. I'm going to take both of those and select them all, and here's where the blend comes in. I'll use my blend tool. I'll zoom in because you want to click on corresponding anchor points. So if I wanted to click here and here would work. This is a really good spot here. Click here and click here. In outline view, you don't notice that you've created an in-between color. Okay. Now, it kind of depends on how it's set and who's been using the software, but usually I get this one-step report this way. Then go to Blend, Blend Options. Remember, I know it says smooth color, but it's really not. It's on one color. Change it to 11 colors and click on the preview. And you'll see this nice blend from white to red and this nice kind of three-dimensional thing that's happening. Oh yeah, we got to do it down here too. So select these two. We want to do the same thing. Just find corresponding anchor points. Click here and click here. Let's see if that worked. There's the step in between. Then go to Blend, Blend Options, Colors, Specified Step. Let's make that 11. Preview, and you get that nice three-dimensional look to it. Isn't that neat? Now, if you put a color behind it, it looks even better. So I'm going to take, I'm going to set my colors to draw behind, and I'll use maybe a blue. Okay. What I want to do here is I want to put an ellipse in behind it, and so I'm going to use my ellipse tool, and you got to kind of just draw it first, and then move it so that it works the way you want it. Okay. So I'm going to rotate this around, and then I'll set it so that it's over here and over here, and bring this in. And remember, we also distorted it, so you may have to do a little bit of that free transform work on it. Go to the free transform. I think it might work if we grab it right here and hold down the Command key. Here, maybe here. And I might have to move this up. It's looking kind of neat. Okay, you can continue to edit that if you need to. You can even just do it with the white arrow keys until it fits around it very nicely. Okay, this one kind of looks like it needs to come this way a little bit. Looking pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to do another thing here just to enhance the 3D effect. I'm going to copy, Command C, paste behind Command B. Oops, doesn't look like it took it all. copy, Command C, paste behind, Command B. Let's see if this will work. I'm going to move it up and to the left a little bit. I'm going to make this a darker color. And you can see how that looks kind of nicely three-dimensional as well. And it's all editable, so you can make it work even better if you have a plan. Okay, so that's a good way to make that kind of an effect. Now, you can still kind of work with this. And one thing that I've done with this that is if I go to Outline View and if I select my if I select the background type, let's see if I can do this. Actually, the Layers panel will be easier. Okay, what I want to do here is I want to select the parts that are red. Let's see if I can do that. That would be these, and then these. See how I'm doing that from my Layers panel? The red type that goes up and over, the red type that goes underneath. Okay. Go to my outline, or my preview, and eyedropper off the blue that's right here. Now it really looks very nice, as it's almost like it's coming out of the blue. Pretty nice. Okay. Now, the example that's on the website also has a little star deal in here, and you can do it. It's basically the same thing. You just use a blue star and a white star, and it sticks out from inside there. Okay, I'm going to stop this.